The person destroying you is probably the kindest person in the room. They never raise their voice. They never leave a bruise you can point to. And yet you are falling apart. You lie awake at 3 a.m., replaying conversations, trying to figure out where you went wrong. You feel confused, exhausted, empty. And the worst part, you cannot explain why. Because from the outside, everything looks fine. This is not you being too sensitive. This is not bad luck. This is a covert narcissist at work. And today, I am going to show you exactly what they are doing to you. 7 signs, one by one. Pay close attention. Because by the end of this video, you will never be manipulated the same way again. Most people picture a narcissist as loud, arrogant, obvious. The person who walks into a room and demands attention. But a covert narcissist is different. They are quiet. They are soft-spoken. They appear humble, sensitive, even wounded. They do not demand your admiration openly. They engineer it silently. And that is exactly what makes them the most dangerous kind. Because you never see them coming. There was a man who studied the architecture of the human mind, not to heal it, but to understand how it could be used against its owner. His name was Carl Jung. And Jung said, the most dangerous psychological mistake is the projection of the shadow onto others. What he meant was this: the covert narcissist does not see their own darkness. They project it. They place it on you. And suddenly, you become the problem. Sign number 1. They make you feel guilty for having needs. Think about the last time you asked for something simple, something reasonable, something any healthy relationship would include without question. What happened? They did not say no. They never say no directly. Instead, they sighed. Or they went quiet. Or their face shifted, just slightly, into something wounded. And your brain, trained by months or years of this, immediately went into panic mode. You started explaining yourself. You started shrinking the request. You ended up apologizing. Not them, you. That is not a normal response to a reasonable request. That is a trained response to a calculated manipulation. Over time, you stop asking. You stop needing. You disappear inside yourself. And they call that peace. Starting today, notice every time you apologize for having a need. Write it down. Every apology is data. Every apology is proof of the pattern. This knowledge is for protection, not destruction. Drop in the comments, I will never apologize for having needs again. Sign number 2. They are always the victim in every single story. Listen carefully the next time they talk. Every ex was unstable. Every boss was jealous. Every friend betrayed them for no reason. Every family member misunderstood them their entire life. There is not one single story where they played any role in what went wrong. This is not bad luck. This is a pattern. A covert narcissist rewrites history. They are the editor of every memory, and in every final cut, they are innocent. Because if they are always the victim, they are never accountable. And accountability is the one thing a narcissist cannot survive. Count the stories. If someone has 10 stories and they are the victim in all 10, that is not bad luck. That is a blueprint. Sign number 3. They give to control. They are generous, thoughtful, they remember things, they do favors without being asked. In the beginning, this feels like love. But watch what happens when you do not thank them enough. When you do not praise them enough. When you need something they did not choose to give. The warmth disappears. What replaces it is cold, distant, resentful. Because their generosity was never about you. It was an investment. And investments demand a return. Drop in the comments, love with conditions is not love, it is a contract. Sign number 4. They use silence as a weapon. When a covert narcissist is displeased, they do not argue. They withdraw. Not physically, they are still there. But the warmth is gone, the eye contact is gone, the acknowledgement that you even exist is gone. And your brain, which is wired for human connection the same way it is wired for oxygen, begins to panic. You will do almost anything to restore that connection. You will apologize for things you did not do. You will shrink yourself smaller and smaller, just to feel seen again. And every time you do, you teach them that silence works. The next time silence is used against you, do not chase it. Sit with the discomfort. Let them discover that their silence no longer controls you. Sign number 5. They destroy you with compliments. They never insult you directly. It is always wrapped. I just want you to reach your potential. I say this because I care about you. You are so sensitive. I worry about you. It was just a joke. Why are you like this? These are not words said carelessly. These are precision instruments, designed to enter through your defenses, because they arrive disguised as concern. And over time, you begin to believe them. You start to think, maybe you are too sensitive. Maybe you are not as capable as you thought. Maybe you need them to become better. That self-doubt, that quiet shrinking of your confidence, is not a side effect. It is the entire goal. Drop in the comments if it makes me smaller. It is not love. Sign number 6. They are emotionally unavailable, but demand your complete presence. When you are struggling, they are distracted. When you are in pain, the conversation shifts to their problems within minutes. When you need to be heard, you are not heard. But when they need you, your full attention is expected. Your full energy is expected. Your full emotional availability is non-negotiable. And if you fall short, you will hear about it. This is not a relationship. This is a transaction. One where the books are always balanced in their favor. Sign number 7. You feel like you are losing your mind, but you cannot explain why. This is the most important sign of all, because there is no obvious evidence. There is no incident you can point to. There is just this constant low-level dread. This sense that something is always slightly wrong, but you cannot name it. That feeling has a name. It is called gaslighting. And it is the covert narcissist's most powerful weapon. They do not just manipulate your reality. They make you question your ability to perceive reality at all. so that you never trust yourself enough to question them. Start documenting. Write down what happens immediately after it happens. Date it, time it. Your records are your reality anchor. No one can take from you what you have already written down. Drop in the comments, "My perception is valid. I trust what I experienced." Now, I want to speak directly to someone watching this right now. You did not just hear a list of signs. You recognized a person, maybe more than one, and something shifted inside you just now. Because you finally have a name for something you have been living inside of for a very long time. That name is not your fault. The confusion you felt was not weakness. The exhaustion was not you being dramatic. You were being systematically dismantled by someone who was exceptionally good at it. The old you is dead. You are a weapon pointed at your own future. You belong to no one. Not to their silence. Not to their guilt. Not to their manufactured version of reality. You were targeted because you were good. Because you were open. Because you trusted. And none of that is something to be ashamed of. Drop in the comments, "I was targeted because I was good, and I am taking that back." If this video gave you clarity today, you already know what to do with it. Share it with someone who is still confused about why they feel the way they feel. They deserve to know what you now know. Subscribe to Shadow Maxims. Not because I am asking, but because every week, there is something here you were never supposed to find out. And before you leave, I want to ask you one question. Not for me, for you. What would your life look like today if you had known this 5 years ago? Leave your answer below. See you in the next one.